If the vice mayor's friend, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
Did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
Oh, I've got something beautiful to show you tonight. The best public comments I think I've ever seen at a city council meeting. Incredible. I cannot wait to share it with you. A man came up to the city council today in Panama City Beach, and in defense of the public library, the city library, which news reports have indicated that they want to cut back hours or even more. It's unbelievable. I cannot wait to show this to you. I also will show you my public comments today, which you're not going to want to miss this, at the city council meeting. But I got to start with the craziest stuff of all, and that is Griff Griffitts' victory speech. He starts off saying, it's not very long, it's like 2 minutes, but I'm going to show it to you. Oh my goodness, it says the weirdest thing. He talks about a kill list. Now, it doesn't sit well with me, really. Do you want to see it first and then I'll tell you why? Or should I tell you why first and then show you? Hell, I'll show you first and then I'll tell you why. So this is a video of Griff Griffitts on the night of his victory. All right. Take a listen to this.
It's been a long 17 months, and I'm telling you, it's been a long one. There's been some roller coaster rides. And, this one right here has been my biggest supporter, biggest fan. She keeps me grounded. She tells me when I'm doing stupid things. She's also trained to kill, and I tell you, there's some people that are on a list. They made a list. So, but no, thank y'all. Really, we're really excited. I'm extremely humbled. I appreciate everybody's support. I mean, this goes back to really March of 21, when a group of us were sitting around, some friends of mine, and we decided it was time to do this. And I can't thank everybody enough. And I'm going to say a few names, and I'm going to miss a lot of people, and I don't mean to hurt any feelings, but it really goes back to, my friends Bo and Mike and William and Rand.
All right, I think I want to skip that. Let's get to what my issues are. And he thanks Arthur Cullen and William Harrison and all these folks. But what I do want to do, I'll do it now because I'd rather just do it as concisely as possible. I want to just share with you what I wrote. That should work. That should be good enough, right? So here's what I wrote. Now I can take a joke, right? I've got a decent sense of humor and thick skin. And Griff's probably joking, right? But if there weren't so many really terrible and even violent things that happen to my sponsors, to me, I would just laugh it off, like probably you do. But let me just share this with you, all right? I wrote, Griff Griffitts has a kill list. There's a list, quote, there's a list. And I just said I've got a pretty good sense of humor. But people in that room, people in that room have had a hand in the following things. Number one, Talk Radio 101 firing me in 2014, which worked out in my favor. But I got fired in 2014 on the radio because I was endorsing Tho Bishop over Jay Trumbull. And I was criticizing Rick Scott for basically signing, well, not basically, for signing a bill. Right now in Florida, illegal aliens can become attorneys. Okay? I had a problem with that. And I was criticizing Steve Sutherland for co-sponsoring a bill to put, he was the congressman at the time, co-sponsoring a bill to put illegal aliens in the U.S. military as a pathway to citizenship. Illegal aliens. I had a problem with that. And I was told to stop it. And, you know, me, what am I going to do? Not tell you? So I saw the writing on the wall. They had every right to fire me. I have a right to free speech, but I don't have a right to their microphone. Okay, I get it. But the owner got tremendous pressure at the country club, Republican country club. But you know, they fired me. They commit tortious interference all the time against me. Number two, people in the room had a hand in 2 bogus defamation lawsuits against me. That's a big deal. Have you ever been sued for defamation? Both of them were dismissed, right? Because they were lying. And we found out incredible information in discovery. Number 3, people in the room had a hand in harassing my family terribly for a long time. Number 4, people in that room have a hand in attacking my sponsors, some of them physically. I might tell you that story. I might tell you that story soon and show you, right? Show you. Number 5, they have a hand in sending code enforcement after my campaign supporters in 2018. They had a hand in the bogus election complaints to the state during my campaign, which of course were dismissed as legally insufficient after the election. Number 7, they had a hand in coordinating media hit pieces. I put media hit prices during my 2018 campaign, attempting to legitimize the bogus legal actions against me. 2 lawsuits and a complaint with the state, all dismissed. But the news reported it with great vigor. Number 8, well, I'm not going to tell you about number 8, which is a lot worse than all of these. Okay, so here's why else the comments that Griff makes about a kill list concern me. I could add it. Well, yeah, and we'll just go from here. Well, the sheriff and the state attorney, who's the top prosecutor, both endorsed Griffitts, and Griff is related to the previous sheriff. That concerns me if he's got a kill list, right? Some say that people get arrested around here for political reasons. Now Griffitts has been elected to the state legislature, and that seat holds influence over the FDLE. He's a bully. Griff is a bully. Just a couple weeks ago, he called the Bay County Republican chairwoman because there was a lady in the organization who recommended that the Republican organization endorse Brian Cloudis. And so Griff Griffitts called and talked to Debbie Wood, the chairwoman of the Bay County Republican Party, and was pissed because a lady, Liz McClain, made the suggestion. And he told Debbie that she clearly doesn't know who he is. And quote, I'll take her down. You know, like they took me down. Look, when you have the power of this community say things like this too, by the way, Griffith said this kind of stuff too. And I'm not going to say about whom, but so-and-so will never work in this town again if he doesn't knock it off. All right. When they come after your livelihood, when they come after you with lawsuits, when they harass your family, when they can have coordinated media attacks against you, that's a pretty damn big deal. What's left after that? What if they do all of these things to somebody and that somebody keeps going anyway? There's not a whole lot left, right? It's not a whole lot left. So, probably kidding, but I'm a little concerned about it based on the last 8 years or so. And he also tells people, look, I've got ears all over the place, that they've got eyes on me. He may be watching us, but we got eyes on him. And that's not unexpected in my field, right? It happens on a larger scale to people like James O'Keefe with Project Veritas, Cheryl Atkinson, who is best reporter probably in America. She's the one who broke Benghazi and Fast and Furious, and all of these kind of things happened to her too. And all of us have fears or concerns about death threats. So when I hear this, my spidey senses go off a little bit. And, you wonder, how much is he joking? So it's not unexpected, but it's absolutely unacceptable. And so I'll be contacting Griff probably tomorrow, and I'll ask him about his list. Maybe I can see it. Maybe he can confirm it or deny it. So it's pretty weird. I've had people say, you're, what do they say? Guy says, you're exaggerating or something. I don't remember. I made a smart ass comment back to the person, but, all right. So I just want to move on from that. Just wanted to show it to you, tell you why I don't discount it as a joke. Haha, that's really funny. Let's everybody move on. All right. I've got to be a little bit more concerned than the average guy. All right. Can I show you this incredible, absolutely incredible? Look at that. Oh my gosh. Jimmy Stewart basically showed up I'm not joking. Jimmy Stewart showed up at the city council meeting today and made the best public comments for the public to keep the public library. The city has more money than ever. They've got more than a $200 million budget. And you know what they want to do? Cut the library so they can spend more money on contractors, I suspect, for kickbacks. I promise you, this will be the best thing that you've seen all day right after this.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. I cannot wait to share this with you, and I'm so glad that you stuck around. Okay, so I had just finished my public comments, which I'll show you in a moment. This all happened this morning, Panama City Beach City Council meeting. I had just finished mine, and I sat down. And this gentleman walked up, and he started off by saying, wow, that was quite a presentation, what I had just said. And then he makes this impassioned plea for the library. But the whole time he was talking, I thought, who does he sound like? Who does he gesture like? This is Jimmy Stewart. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, PCB style. Oh, look at this.
It's quite a presentation. I hope, my name is Ron Steensland.
I've sort of been overcome by this last few minutes here.
And Castro, I believe
Yes,
I'm
sir.
one of your constituents. I'm here today to talk about a subject that's extremely important to to me as an individual, as well as to a number of other folks in this city.
So I just am bound to say this.
I guess what I want to ask you, if you folks are at all familiar with what this is attached to my keychain. I probably can't see it from here, but this is my passport to lifetime learning. I'm a retired military guy. I've lived in a lot of different communities, and this is my library card. And I'm not going to put you folks on the spot. Bernie, you probably would, but I'm not going to put you folks on the spot and ask how many of you have a library card. But I want you to think about that, because what usually happens is that a lot of times the elected officials don't have library cards, but their spouses do and their children do. And so I'm here. You might say, as a retired military guy, I might say I'm under orders here, because I'm a library lover, and not to be confused with the old adage that librarians are novel lovers. But I know, because I married one.
Lucy, I think we ought to get married.
Married? Right away?
Well, no, tomorrow will be soon enough, I think.
And I'm here under orders because my wife said, now, I don't know how much of what I read in the media is true, so in the media is true, but we can't let them cut our library budget. And I got to thinking about it. I'm not an accomplished public speaker by any means, but I'm passionate about libraries. And I just don't want to see us make a really bad mistake concerning cutting back the library hours, or even closing it. I mean, some folks have talked about that. We just can't allow that to happen. A library is a reflection of its community, and we have an incredibly talented group of staff members, because I interact with them, and I think the other thing is that we can't lose sight of. We've got a $200 million budget. The mayor told me, and what we're talking about is $35,000 to $37,000, and I just don't want to see us make this mistake. I mean, I would not want to be running for re-election and have to tell people that I cut the library.
I don't know, maybe if I was you, maybe I'd kind of forget about green acres and maybe start thinking a little bit about green pastures. Huh?
I gather that buzzer means my time is up.
Yes, sir.
And I want to try and respect this group. And thank you, folks. I'm really glad. I don't have these difficult decisions to make, but that's why we elected you. Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for your service.
You can hear Mark Sheldon. You can hear Mark Sheldon sigh heavily. He always sighs heavily. Wasn't that amazing? Now, I've probably watched that 15 times today. I'm obsessed with watching that, because I cannot overstate how understated his brilliance was. That was his timing was exquisite. His conviction was amazing. Wow. All I can say is, wow. I am so glad that I got to witness that. I was sitting right next to him. I've never met him. I don't know him. I want to. But wow. That was a blessing for me to see. And I can't help but think what America would be like, what Florida would be like, what counties and cities would be like if more people showed up and addressed the council like that. My style's a little different, but I comport myself professionally when I'm in there. Not here. I mean, this is a show after all. I get to have a little fun. All right. You don't get to deprive me of all my fun. Well, Bernie Griff should have some fun too. Why are you mad when he? Hey, listen, it's not fun to say a kill list. That's not funny. Now, Todd Neves and I get it on because we don't get along. But I think they're corrupt as hell. But I don't threaten him. And when he makes a meme busting my ass, I can laugh at it, right? Which he did, by the way. Don't appreciate it one bit. It's pretty funny, actually pretty good. And it was within the realm of throwing elbows in politics. Didn't say anything about my family. It didn't say anything nasty. He just gloated a whole lot. And you could say it's nasty, and it's a little bit of that when the powerful mock those who are not powerful. There's something ugly about it. I follow Will Rogers' philosophy. Will Rogers, if you don't know him, you got to look him up. Early 20th century. He was a humorist and columnist and satirist, and he commented on politics. And this was his philosophy, which I adopt. He said, I never picked on the little guy. I never pick on the little guy, only big people, right? And so I only pick on big people, much bigger than me. And only big people who I believe are bullies in positions of power, who are using those positions to enrich themselves and their friends and their families. All right, I admit it. I pick on them, but I never pick on the little guy. That's my philosophy. And so when you see the powerful mocking people who are trying, not me, they can mock me all day long. And I don't consider myself a little guy or a big guy. I'm certainly not a big guy. But I mean, when I see the powerful mocking regular people, okay, that's when I'm gonna sashay on in there and stand with regular people. Even if we get our asses handed to us, even if we get our teeth kicked in. I don't know why. But that's how I'm wired. All right. It's just not what I do, it's just what I am. So anyway, the whole Griffitts thing was off limits, in my opinion, and Bernie's joking. Okay. So do you want to see what I said today at the city council meeting? My problem today is they have more money than ever, but they all are making a killing on our taxes at a time with crushing inflation. They are raising assessments, which are taxes by another name. They're all making a boatload of money. You wouldn't believe it. And they're throwing it away. They're burning. They might as well sit up there and burn dollar bills. $100 bills, $1,000, whatever. They gave a consultant $1,000. They gave a consultant $1 million to do that curve over on Front Beach Road in 79. That was supposed to be done a long time ago. The consultant didn't get it done. And so no big deal. They just hired another consultant. Did they get the $1 million back? It doesn't matter. It's not their money. And as long as it's not their money, they don't give a flip. So that's kind of what I was fired up about today. And it went like this. Hello, I'm Bernie Thompson. And I've noticed all of the budget workshops. I've had a little bit of concern about all the money that is coming into Panama City Beach. At the very same time that the city says they have more money than ever, the city continues to raise assessments and this sort of thing. And at a time with crushing inflation, I want you to remember who you're doing this to, and it doesn't affect you that much. Take you, Vice Mayor Castro, for example. I believe you have a $100,000 pension from the city that the city pays, $30,000 salary here, a $450 per month car allowance. Doesn't affect you that much. Take the mayor, for example. Mayor's companies get $1.5 million every year to put on the Sand Jam concert and the Gulf Coast Jam concert. $1.5 million every year. Also a $450 per month car allowance. At a time of crushing inflation, it doesn't affect you that much, Mayor. When you raise assessments and
Take all you can from the people who are paying for all this. The city managers, we have 2 city managers, both of whom make about $150,000 a year. I believe they also have a $450 per month car allowance. It doesn't affect you guys. 2 city attorneys make more than that. I want you to remember where you're getting the money. But it doesn't feel like that because it's not your money. It's our money. That's the reason it takes so long to get stuff done. Take, for example, the road, the project over here on Front Beach Road in 79. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that should have been done a long time ago. As a matter of fact, you paid a consultant $1 million and they didn't do the job. So you paid another consultant. No accountability. None. $1 million, but it wasn't your money. I remember sitting in here not too long ago, and you had the consultants talking about discharging stormwater into the Gulf. When you dig up the Gulf, he said it would be $17 million. Then you got a grant for $21 million. And now every one of you know it's going to be more than $30 million. When is enough enough? When do you get enough kickbacks to where you think about the people and where the money's coming from? I've reminded you before that you're still under investigation. Every one of you had to comply with the federal subpoena. I know you think that it's gone away, and I know that you have protection. My team knows. But I want to remind you, Scott Maddox also believed that, and he's in prison. Andrew Gillum believed it. He's been indicted. I'll remind you that the mills of the gods grind slowly, but ever so fine. It's not going away. And it's not your money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
All right. So, yeah, those are my public comments today. They didn't like it. I think that's Mike Jarman making all those noises. I think the groaning and the I think that's Mike Jarman, but I'm not positive. Sometimes I think it's Casto. Sometimes I think it's Sheldon. I'm not exactly who it is, but they certainly don't like me pointing out all the places they're taking money from and how they're blowing money and how they're living like kings because the crushing inflation doesn't affect them.
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at PCAirrepair.com. I haven't reminded you this for a while. If you know of corruption taking place in Bay County, now forgive me that I can't go to Walton County and Gulf County and I'm just one guy walking a tightrope with no net, doing the very best I can. Independent, don't try this business model. Okay. I'm a trained professional. But if you have tips, if you have receipts, documents, evidence of government corruption in Bay County, this is where you can send it to my email. And this is a secure email. This is the same email service. That's not the right one. Damn it. All right, I'm going to tell it to you, and if somebody will write it down. That's not the right one. Okay, so you want to send it to Bernie Thompson, right there, at Proton, Proton, proton.mail. Bernie Thompson at proton.mail. That's not it either. Proton.com. I had a good flow going until the very end. I always screw up at some point. You'd think after 14 years of doing this, I'd be better. Bernie Thompson at proton.com. That's the email address. And I'll get it fixed and I'll put it up next time. But some of the stuff that I uncover, I have stacks of it right now. My team has stacks of it right now. We make sure they're all over the place in case that hill
kill list starts to get checked off, we make sure this stuff is everywhere, not just in the cigar box. Yeah, we got to be careful these days. Bernie Thompson at protonmail.com. Miss Sarah Moon, will you write down the right one? Because I think I've said it wrong every time. If you want to support my efforts, here's how you can do it. We survive on crowdfunding and sponsorships. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. It's like giving a tip as little as $5 a month. It's anonymous. It is easy, and you can quit at any time. And as always, I want to thank the Unknown Patriot for supporting my efforts as well. The Unknown Patriot. Wasn't that crazy? The hit, the kill list thing? Bernie, it's just a joke. All right. Probably, hopefully. If you're on the list too, depending on who you are, all right. Depending on who you are, I hope your name's higher than mine. But if you're sweet and nice and doing your best, I hope my name's ahead of yours. How about that? On Griff's kill list. That's the craziest thing. And that's the first thing he said. That's what's wild about it. Like, when you win an election, the first thing you think of are the people who were against you. Isn't that wild? All right. Thanks for being with me. I'm going to wrap it up right now, and I will see you again soon.